So how does an 18-year-old girl with a severe intellectual disability, someone who couldn't even defend or advocate for herself, get preyed upon right under her family's nose?
That's why you're going in
I
cuffs.
got an arrest warrant.
Yeah, you're Tamika, right?
Ow!
Just turn around for me, okay?
I'm trying to ask how.
I'll tell you. For child neglect.
For child neglect.
Yep. Are there your two daughters in the house?
No!
Okay.
For child neglect.
Yep. Headquarters, I got 3 in custody. Come on.
Sir, I didn't
Come on.
I didn't neglect my child.
That's fine. You got an arrest warrant.
How do you end up in a situation where her own 19-year-old brother is the one who fathered her baby after 2 whole years of taking advantage of her? And how does a mother catch her own husband sneaking out of that poor girl's bedroom, only to sit back and wait 9 months for a DNA test instead of calling the police?
Come here, brother. Come here. Tell your mom to come here. Good. Come here.
Mom! Mom!
Hold on. Just relax.
Mom!
Just relax, Nathaniel. Relax. Relax. Hey, Tamika, come out here. Come out here. Hey, Sarge, I got one more. Come out here. Put your bowl down.
I mean, what in the absolute hell is happening to this world, girl? Have people completely lost their minds? Or are we just living in a reality where the people who are supposed to protect you are the very ones ruining your life? Okay, picture this. An 18-year-old girl with a severe intellectual disability gets brought into the hospital and gives birth. Right off the bat, the hospital staff and social workers realize something is way off. This poor girl couldn't even process or explain who the father was at first, trying to say it was some secret boyfriend. But the nurses knew her disability was too severe for her to just be out casually dating without anyone knowing. Now, when police finally sat down with her gently, she dropped the bombshell, and she said her father, 66-year-old Nathaniel Molden Sr., was the one who did it to her. And do you know why she thought it was her dad? Because her own mother, Tama Molden, told her that. Tama allegedly caught her husband coming out of the daughter's bedroom months prior, but instead of calling the police like any real mother would, this woman said she wanted to wait until the baby was born so a DNA test could figure it out. Girl, what? You suspect your own husband is doing things to your baby, and you just sit on your hands and wait for a birth certificate? The absolute madness. Anyway, naturally, investigators started suspecting the dad, especially when they searched his phone history and found searches for how to corrupt a DNA test and do siblings share the same DNA? At that point, everyone thought, yep, it's the dad. But when the DNA results came back from the state lab, it was a 99% match to someone else in that house, her 19-year-old brother, Nathaniel Molden Jr. See, when cops interrogated the brother, he confessed that he had been sleeping with his sister for 2 whole years. And wait, it gets worse. He claimed their parents actually caught them doing this before. And do you know what the parents did? They spanked them both and just carried on like nothing happened. A quick spanking? Applied equally to both parties, of course. Broke a plate? Spanking. Committed a serious felony against your own sibling? Spanking. It's called balance. Sweep it under the rug, pretend it never happened, and pass the mashed potatoes. Just wild, y'all. But listen, just because that DNA test said the dad wasn't the biological father of that baby, does not mean his hands were clean. Think about it. The mom literally caught him coming out of their daughter's bedroom under super suspicious circumstances 9 months before she gave birth. Why else would the mom's immediate reaction be, that's his baby? You don't just randomly assume your husband got your disabled daughter pregnant unless you've already seen behavior that made you suspect he was capable of doing it. The DNA only proved who fathered that specific baby, but it didn't clear him of anything else that might have gone down in that house before. Fast forward to months later, when the police pull up to their house with arrest warrants for all 3 of them. And the audacity in the police car video is what really sent my blood pressure through the roof. You've got the brother going down for incest, and the parents getting slammed with felony neglect. And what are they talking about in the back of the patrol car? Tama is complaining about her foot hurting and needing her walking boot. She's asking if someone locked the house front door. The dad is sitting there griping about missing his court date for his divorce. They are arguing about who forgot their clothes, who has their phone book, and mathing out their bail money. Actually, right in the back of the patrol car, the dad was talking about, "I came back too fast. I should have left. I was thinking about leaving earlier." The mom also talks about disappearing, and the dad starts complaining that this arrest is going to mess up his record, as if he was applying for a corporate job. Not a single tear, no outrage, no, "Oh my God, my son ruined my daughter's life." Nothing. Just straight up annoyance like they got caught running a red light or forgot to pay a parking ticket. Honestly, you couldn't write a script this absurd if you tried. The absolute lack of brain cells and basic human empathy in that house deserves its own special trophy. And if you ask me, the mom sounded like there was something mental going on with her too.
That's why we're here.
Who put the warrants out?
Oklahoma County. They put it out September 25th. They've all been confirmed.
September 25th?
Yes, ma'am.
My caseworker didn't let me know nothing about it.
They may not know.
Right now, I'm going to court right now to get my daughters back.
I got you. Well, that's the civil side, right? Getting your daughters back is Child Protective Services. This is the criminal side.
In fact, every one of those family members sounded and looked like they all had mental issues. But then we also have to ask ourselves, when a household operates with that level of detachment and dysfunction, you have to run the numbers on what else was happening to that poor daughter. If the parents' idea of stopping 2 years of ongoing madness was a simple spanking, what was their version of normal physical discipline? For a young woman with a severe intellectual disability who couldn't advocate for herself, the risk of physical harm, neglect, and total isolation in that house was sky high, long before the police ever showed up. Well, basically, the state was required to prove 3 main criteria beyond a reasonable doubt after the arrest. Number 1, it had to establish that the accused was a parent, legal guardian, or person legally responsible for the daughter's health, safety, or welfare, and the biological parents, Nathaniel Sr. and Tama Molden, legally held this duty of care under Oklahoma law. Secondly, they had to prove failure to provide protection or proper supervision. Of course, this was also not hard, because Tama Molden suspected her husband was taking advantage of her daughter, yet chose to wait 9 months for a birth result, rather than reporting it or removing her daughter from danger. Then, Nathaniel Jr. stated that his parents had previously caught him with his sister, yet responded with only a spanking, and allowed the cohabitation to continue for roughly 2 years. Number 3, they also consider whether the act was willful or malicious. See, Oklahoma's criminal jury instructions specify that willful does not require an intent to break the law, but rather a deliberate choice to commit or omit the act. By choosing not to intervene, notify authorities, or remove the vulnerable daughter from a known or suspected person under their own roof, the parents' ongoing inaction met the legal threshold for willful neglect. Also, because the 18-year-old daughter had a severe intellectual disability that left her unable to protect or care for herself, she legally fell under protections regarding dependent individuals unable to consent or fend for themselves, which heightened the parents' legal obligation to provide protective supervision. Well, as a result, the brother, Nathaniel Jr., pleaded guilty to incest and got hit with 7 years in prison, and the dad got 5 years in prison for felony neglect. But get this, the mother, Tama, pleaded no contest to neglect and got 7 years of deferred probation. That means as long as she stays out of trouble, she won't even serve a single day in a cell. So how on earth did she manage to basically walk free while her husband and son went to prison? First off, entering a plea of no contest means she didn't formally admit guilt, but accepted the punishment as if she were guilty to avoid going to trial. In exchange for taking that plea deal, the state agreed to a deferred sentence. Under Oklahoma law, a deferred sentence pauses the conviction. As long as she complies with all her probation rules and doesn't get arrested for 7 years, that felony charge gets dismissed. Her record gets wiped clean, and she completely avoids state prison. Yes, I know how crazy that sounds. I mean, she was the one who suspected her husband of SA-ing her disabled daughter and chose to sit back and wait 9 whole months for a DNA test instead of calling the police or taking her daughter to safety. She was the mother who was supposed to be the primary line of defense for a vulnerable 18-year-old daughter who couldn't protect herself. According to the brother, both parents caught them red-handed during the 2 years and chose to resolve it with a simple spanking before sweeping it completely under the rug. So it honestly feels like a total slap in the face to that poor daughter who needed her mother to fight for her. Instead of being held fully accountable for failing her daughter, Tama essentially got a free pass on a technicality and a plea deal. Well, the law can be messed up like that sometimes, but let me know what your thoughts are on this literal house of horrors in the comments section below.